that was fine. I expected that to be a lot more unpleasant. On about week 2 coming off sertraline. So I started off taking half a tablet one night, full tablet the next night, and then after a week of that I moved on to half tablet one night, half tablet the next night, full tablet the night after, and I'm currently doing that. I'm feeling okay. Sertraline is something you can't just come off. I'm sure there's other reasons for it, but it's the worst and the most debilitating one for me is the brain zaps it causes. So when I have gone away and I've forgotten my sertraline, or I've just forgotten to order them from the pharmacy, I have experienced these brain zaps, and that's the best way to explain to them. I've tried to explain them to Chris and he just doesn't get it. I think if you felt it, you'll know it, but it almost is like a tiny little electric shock in your brain, and yeah, they are not very pleasant as they sound. So that is one of the things coming off sertraline that could be a problem. At the moment, touch wood, there's wood here, I have not had those at all, and so far I might feel different. It could just be placebo, but especially the first couple of days I started taking that half tablet, I just feel like I felt a bit more, and I did feel a little bit brighter. So again, I don't know whether it's just me imagining it or whether I actually did feel those things, but hey, I guess it doesn't really matter. If I am feeling better or I'm not feeling any different coming off them, then that's a good thing, right? So I think I'm going to start doing half a tablet each night for a little while, see how that goes, and once I'm comfortable with that, I'll start reducing again. But yeah, 2 weeks in, very slowly reducing and feeling okay. I've just bought this enormous papaya at the greengrocers, and I just had a bit of a strange experience buying it actually. And I know I just pulled a face as if it was a bad strange experience, but it wasn't. It was genuinely quite odd. There was just me and one other person in the greengrocers, and she came across a little bit odd. She was chatting away to herself as she was shopping around. I didn't really think anything of it. Once you live in South Manchester for a while, you're kind of used to this kind of thing. But I didn't particularly want anything from the greengrocers. I was just getting what I fancied. So I picked up some pak choy, some cherries. And when I got to the counter, I said, "Have you got any papaya?" I never buy papaya. I just really fancied it. And the lady came up to me and she said, "Oh, what are you cooking?" And I was like, I'm actually not. I'm just buying a bit of what I fancy. And she went, "That's so interesting you're buying papaya, because it cleanses heavy metals from the blood, and I've also heard this before about it cleansing parasites as well." And I was just about like, oh. And she went on to talk about listening to your body, and yeah, when your body gives you clues about things, then you must follow them. And I've been thinking about that recently, and it's so weird that somebody would just come up to me in a shop and start telling me about that. because I feel I've become quite desensitized to my body, if not from taking sertraline, then just from repressing my feelings and repressing a lot of trauma over the years. And so I've really been trying to tune back into my body, and I just thought it was very interesting. So I'm so in two minds, because I don't even fully, do I even fully believe that papaya helps with parasites and heavy metals? I actually don't know. But I just fancied one. I fancied buying one when I was in that shop, and it has been very rare in my life that I've gone, I fancy a papaya. Mango, yes. Watermelon, absolutely. Papaya, no. So maybe it was my body calling to me. Maybe it wasn't, but she's here now in all her giant glory, and I will be eating her. And whether that makes me feel better or not, I tend to think these are all part of a larger picture in making you feel better. I'm sure I'll be getting nutrients and vitamins from her anyway, but yeah, interesting. Okay, this is for you, random lady in the greengrocers. Good. That was fine. I expected that to be a lot more unpleasant. That's doable each day. I think one of my whole skepticisms about the whole like detox, cleansing, heavy metals thing is that I'm like, surely governments and like health agencies out there just would not allow stuff to be in our water, in our food. But it's becoming increasingly clear to me that these heavy metals and toxic things are being allowed in our food and water supply. So I don't think we have it as bad here in the UK as the US does. But again, I could be completely wrong. We import so much of our food because we are essentially this little island that has this wet, temperate climate, and we struggle to make a lot of our own crops. So yeah, I have this like cynical side of me that is like, no, surely we're being looked after. And the other side of me that is like, yeah, but you have just felt unwell for almost your entire life. So something's got to change, right? Good morning from Saturday. Just have to be a little bit quiet right now as my other half is still in bed, but I am now on half a tablet of sertraline a night, every night. I have been feeling pretty good overall. In fact, like overall, I've been feeling really good. Like I actually have some energy. I feel like, not right now because I just woke up. I almost feel like I have more colour in my face than normal. I did feel a bit fuzzy headed yesterday, and I had 1 or 2 brain zaps, which I talked about earlier. They are pretty awful, but they haven't been bad, and they've just been those. So hopefully, well, we'll see how many more I have. Maybe Thursday. My colleague told me something that they're struggling with at the moment, and I was worrying for them. And I don't actually say worrying for them. I don't worry about the this is one of my anxiety symptoms. I worry terribly about things I have absolutely zero control over, which, you know, is a big anxiety symptom, I know anyway, but it's not like I was even worrying about my colleague. I was worrying for them, almost like on behalf of them, which is absolutely pointless. I'm thoroughly aware of that, but I almost feel like if I worry about them, then I can sort it for them. So I became quite aware of that quickly, and I kind of managed to journal my way around that and think my way around that and use my CBT techniques. So that passed quite quickly. So I'm sure there is more of that to come, but this is just the start of it, or the first time I felt that in a long time anyway. So I'm pretty sure that's associated with coming off the sertraline. Now I'm going to have my breakfast, coffee, have a morning read, have a little morning journal, and have a think about what to do the rest of my day. One of my favourite things at the moment is just going into the greengrocer and just grabbing whatever I fancy. So today I got another papaya. The week I had papaya and I had a teaspoon of the seeds every day, I felt amazing that week. So it probably wasn't just the papaya, but I'm gonna see if I can replicate that. Then it is autumn, so I've got myself a butternut squash. How cute is this squash? It was just the funniest shaped one, so I'm hoping there's actually loads of flesh in, like the actual meat of the squash in this one. And then I am absolutely buzzing to have a red grapefruit. I am right the way down on my sertraline now, so I feel like I'm in a really good place to have a red grapefruit, because you're not actually supposed to have grapefruit when you take sertraline, or a lot of other prescription medicines actually, because of absorption. But yes, I have got one. My mouth is tingling already at the anticipation of eating this. So yes, let's eat this today too. Most of the time I'm not much of a soup girly, but the start of autumn is definitely a time where I start fancying some soup, especially because butternut squash and pumpkin as well are in season. So I am going to get this chopped up in the slow cooker with a load of garlic and some spices, so make a really nice spicy butternut squash soup. And then I'll blend it up to a really like thick, gloopy consistency. So hopefully when Chris is home back from the football later, we'll have a lovely warming soup to have. Just to make my life a lot easier, I've just chopped it in half, and wow, how orange is it? It looks amazing. I'm gonna stick it in the oven for a bit just to soften it up, and then it's super easy just to get the actual stuff that you want to use out, and it'd be really lovely and roasted as well. Butternut squash is now roasted a bit, so I'm hoping that my knife will, yeah, slide through it nice and easy. I've become one of those people who is a member of a gym, just to have a bit of a swim and then sit in the steam room for ages. The me of 10 years ago would have been furious, but the me of 10 years ago was always stressed and always injured, so good job she doesn't get a say in things anymore. I've had to transfer the soup over to the pressure cooker because the slow cooker was taking so long, but I just picked a couple of things up from Tesco. Giant garlic. But ginger would work really well in the soup, actually. Pumpkin seeds, and coconut cream. The soup is done. I know I said I was a texture eater, and I have made the soup with the least texture ever, but this is the texture I like my soup, like emulsion paint. Hello, it's now Sunday. I had a really lovely day yesterday. I pottered around, did some cleaning, tidying, but today I'm feeling a bit icky actually, and I don't mean physically, I mean just mentally. And something has happened today, completely not even, honestly not worth talking about. I'm not going to tell you the full story because I don't want to give it any airtime, but I was not as considerate as I could have been towards someone else. And I like to think I'm a considerate person, and it's really stuck with me. I have been thinking about this for hours and thinking of all the different responses in my head and thinking, this person's going to post about me on Facebook and all sorts. And immediately I am going to, it's because I'm going off my sertraline. It's definitely, that's the reason why it's sticking with me. And if I take a few steps back and I think a little bit logically about this, then I also have these thoughts when I'm on sertraline as well. There are times when I spend a week thinking about something that I really don't need to. And also, I am just a human being. Being considerate to others is so important to me, but I am not going to be 100% considerate 100% of the time. And if somebody does something a little bit inconsiderate to me, I think to myself, okay, that wasn't great, but I'm going to move on. And the people that I did this tiny inconsiderate thing to, they've probably done the same thing themselves. They're not even going to think about me. And here's me stuck thinking about it. So, you know, not every day is going to be amazing, and feelings of anxiety essentially boil down to trying to keep you safe and stopping you from feeling fearful, right? So I'm just gonna ride with this. I'm pretty sure that this will have worn off by the end of the day and I will be feeling good again tomorrow. I'm currently 3 days out from my period as well, and I do tend to get quite bad PMS. I've had no PMS this time at all, which is interesting. But maybe this is just a manifestation of it. So that was my Sunday. Time to go make a roast dinner and chill out before work tomorrow. Hello. It's about a week since I last spoke on this particular subject. If I've uploaded these in chronological order, which knowing me, I probably haven't, but you may have seen my last video that I went to Lisbon this past weekend, and I've been home for a few days now, and as you can maybe tell by my voice, my wonderful face, and my current attire in the evening, I've come down with a rotten cold. I've not felt great all week, but yeah, today I've had to take a sick day off work. I've just felt absolutely horrendous. I'm supposed to be at a friend's 40th today, and then at the wedding tomorrow for the Hendy that I went to. So I'm really, really hoping that I rally for the wedding, even if I could just get to the ceremony and just a little bit of time at the after, because that would be very upsetting. I'm actually really upset that I'm ill. Nobody likes being ill, I know, but last weekend I felt really good in Lisbon, and I even stopped myself from staying out late and had way fewer drinks than everyone else, just because I was conscious that these sort of things do happen to me. And it has happened, but I have, over the past week or so, I accidentally went to bed the night before Lisbon without taking my sertraline. The night I came home, I didn't take any sertraline, so I did 3 nights of, I did 1 night off, 3 nights of half a sertraline, 1 night off, and I've just done 3 nights of half a sertraline, and I think tonight I will probably have the night off. I'm not getting many brain zaps, which is amazing. So that's the very acute symptom that I get when I try and come off sertraline. But I have also been feeling emotionally very good. Like, of course, I am upset that I can't go to my friend's 40th and that I'm not well and I have had to have a day off work. But
I'm very aware also that being upset at bad things happening, annoying things happening, is a total normal part of being a human and human existence. So I'm cool with that. And tomorrow, I might feel a bit better. I really hope I feel a bit better. And emotionally, I will, it's just all part of the roller coaster. And I'm really happy I feel that way. I'm really proud that I've come this far, that this, this week hasn't absolutely destroyed me mentally and emotionally. Today I have literally rotted the entire day. I'm actually a little bit more upright now, the evening time, than I have been the rest of the day, but I have just been playing Pokemon and watching YouTube all day. So yeah, hopefully it pays off and I'll be back on my feet tomorrow.
Okay, update. Turns out I have COVID. This is actually my first time upright today, and it's 25 to 4. So I'm feeling a little bit better than I have done for the rest of the day, but I still feel shocking and have obviously not made it to the wedding, which I am heartbroken about. I even managed to, despite feeling so unwell, put my hair into heatless curls last night. So I've woken up with the most gorgeous hair. So I feel like shit with COVID, have great hair. Look at the state of my eyes. Oh gosh. So I'm really happy I can laugh about it right now, because there have been tears today about being unwell and not being able to make the wedding. So this is completely veered off course from coming off sertraline, but it's all part of life, right? I've not even felt well enough to sit up and play Pokemon today. So I've literally just been laid down, either asleep or listening to podcasts. So the only way is up, right?